Coming up on AgweekTV, is drought coming back to the region? We ask an expert what we can expect. We'll see how farm satellite photos are being brought to life. Palmer amaranth continues to spread in North Dakota, but there's a new effort to bring it to zero. And we'll visit a local business that is bringing the heat to the Midwest. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. Our wet spring brought welcome drought relief, but now a large part of the region is back in drought status. I talked to Daryl Richardson, the director of the North Dakota Ag Weather Network, to see how dry the region actually is and discuss the winter weather outlook. So Daryl, how is the region sitting in terms of moisture?
Most of the state, not all that well. We have soil moisture probes with the end on throughout the state down to 40 inches. And most locations are dry through 8. Once you get down to the lower depths, still quite a bit of water from the rain and or snow from last spring. But really that top foot has dried off quite a bit. I will say the snowstorm and rain system from earlier in the week did bring quite a bit of rain. There's some parts of western North Dakota that got 1 to 3 inches of rain, but really that was about maybe 20% of the state. The other 80% really did not get much moisture from that particular system.
So would you say there's any comparison between the months that we're experiencing now and the fall of 2020?
In many ways, you could say yes. The fall of 2020 also had a precipitation event, but it did not trigger much of the state. So if you want to make that comparison, you could, because the conditions are similar, but the reasons it occurred then over what is causing it now, to me, is a little bit different.
So as we're heading into those winter months, do you think there are going to be turbulent winter storms like we experienced last year?
Well, here's the thing. Last year, the upper level wind flow was pretty stagnant. And really all we had was a bunch of Alberta clippers. We get Alberta clippers every winter. It's just the storm track last year was perfect. So instead of getting like 1 or 2 bad Alberta clippers, we had 8, 9, 10 of them. And so the odds of that happening 2 winters in a row are quite low. But again, storm from earlier in this week, although not an Alberta clipper, still triggered a lot of wind. Again, we live in the northern plains, so you should anticipate some of that. We get it almost every winter, but to the degree of last year, I would be a little bit surprised if we did, but that still means we're probably going to get 2 or 3.
So would you say the region's in need of one large weather event to kind of help with the moisture issue?
Contrary to sometimes what most people believe, you don't get a lot of absorption of winter snowfall into the soil. Most of it ends up running away. So if we're really going to replenish the moisture, it's probably going to occur next spring after the melt, not necessarily what's going to occur this winter, because again, I will emphasize, not much of that ends up into the soil outside the top inch or 2.
It's most certainly going to be an interesting couple of months. Daryl Richardson, Director of NDON. One weed expert says North Dakota needs to go for absolute zero on Palmer amaranth. The weed can devastate yields. The prediction is that if North Dakota doesn't keep the noxious weed out of the state now, it will triple costs for weed control in crops like corn and soybeans. It will double the cost for sugar beets, where weed control costs are already greater. Tom Peters works in weed management at NDSU and the University of Minnesota Extension Service. He says an educational campaign seems to be working, although Palmer amaranth has now spread to 19 counties in the state. Peters says they're finding a few plants in the fields, not acres and acres.
If we do nothing, we're going to see Palmer amaranth spread to more counties. And unfortunately, sooner or later, we're going to wind up with wide swaths of Palmer amaranth, fields that have many plants instead of a few plants. And then we're going to have to start changing our weed management programs. And that's going to get expensive for our producers.
Peters says the focus should now shift to cattle producers to understand the consequences of buying screenings, especially sunflowers embedded with pigweed seeds, including Palmer amaranth. A Minnesota company is branching out from tomatoes to other produce. Bushel Farms has grown tomatoes year-round for more than 30 years, but now the southern Minnesota company is expanding.
We pride ourselves in being a Midwest local producer.
Bushel Farms was started in 1990 with one goal.
Backyard garden quality tomatoes year-round in a climate like Minnesota.
Bushel Boy produces about 60,000 pounds of tomatoes every day, and now it's the first Minnesota company to produce cucumbers year-round. Bushel Boy Farms president Chuck Tryon says the company will produce almost 1 million pounds of cucumbers by the end of the year.
We had the in-house experience, and we had a customer base that was asking us for what else we can bring them year-round that right now they have to generally import from either Mexico or from Canada. So this was an opportunity where we could try a crop that grows in the exact same infrastructure that tomatoes grow in. So it was an easy thing to insert into our greenhouse.
And now their first cucumber harvest is underway.
We can have our product that we pick today can be in a store tomorrow, and that's the benefit of being a good local supplier and really taking miles off of the food chain.
In addition, the company started growing strawberries a few years ago in a small-scale trial. They grow their produce in 50 acres of high-tech greenhouses in Minnesota and Iowa. Bushel Boy keeps beehives in the greenhouses for pollination. The company also prides itself on efficient use of water. Tryon says it all adds up to better produce.
So products that are coming from either from the West Coast or from Mexico or Canada are being picked before they fully ripen and before the flavor fully develops. So that's really our business model allows us to harvest it when it's exactly ripe, ready for a consumer to experience.
Tryon says there are plans to expand throughout the Midwest. How would you like your farm on a rug or wall hanging? A North Dakota business can make it for you. The story's coming up on AgweekTV.
All right, here's the free gift I got for opening up a checking account. Let's see what I got.
Okay guys, so I got this portable DVD player.
Yeah, I'm not sure why my bank would give me a tiny waffle maker.
So it's a tumbler, but it doesn't fit in any of my cup holders.
I wasn't even sure they still made these.
Is it for kids? Is this for kids?
Don't fall for the free gift. Find a bank that cares about what you really need. Cornerstone Bank.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute, up to 3,400 feet away.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Some soybeans are showing up with off colors. While that's not an indicator of poor quality, some Asian export markets are discounting the off-color beans. Soybeans in the U.S. are often graded as yellow, but a growing number are showing up with a seed coat that's more brown or gray. Extension specialist Seth Nave says the problem appears to be with Enlist E3 soybeans. He says it doesn't seem to make a difference in quality or nutritional value, but it is important to some buyers. Nave wants growers to be aware there is a potential issue out there.
I'd just say this is another example of the risk that we have when farmers really emphasize buying the newest and best varieties. When they go out and purchase, I always purchase the new stuff, then they're at greater risk of having some of these kinds of issues.
USDA data shows the average percent of soybeans of other colors doubled from 0.5% a year ago to 1% this year. While the number remains small, it's the first increase in more than a decade. You probably know kids who love to play with their toy cars on a rug pattern with a town or racetrack. But now they can play with their farm toys on a replica of your farm. AgweekTV's Mikkel Page joins us now with more on a North Dakota company that's making carpet farms in this week's cover story.
Boundary is a new novelty company that can put your farm's satellite or aerial image on a play rug or turn it into wall art.
Here's the grain in the combine.
Today's rural kiddos may someday be growing crops or raising livestock on this land in real life. But for now, they're playing on an area rug-sized version of their family farm.
Should we dump the grain in the grain bin?
Nathan Felighty recently started Boundary as a brand for novelty art items using remote aerial imagery. Boundary started by offering generic farm print rugs this month and will start producing custom products next month, just in time for Christmas.
It's especially the farm rugs are such a kind of unique and alluring product for kids to play on their own dad's farm. I mean, what's not to like about it?
Nathan's dad, Lanny Felighty, has been an innovator in satellite imagery for precision ag with his company SatShot. Nathan worked with and held management posts in the company for several years before branching out into other areas, including this artistic use of the technology.
No one was really doing that on a large scale and more efficient scale, so I got some feedback and everyone was pretty receptive to it. What comes out of these cows? Milk?
Milk.
Do you like milk?
I
What about this one? Is this a chicken? Do you like chicken?
Yeah, I like chicken.
The rugs come in standard sizes up to 9 by 12.
Yeah, it's not going to be to exact scale, but I don't think most kids really care.
If you don't have a special piece of land you want pictured, Felighty has some generic designs to choose from. The rugs are washable and can be folded up to put away. The company also offers pieces of vinyl and other materials to be hung up on the wall as art or whiteboard type work guides for a real farm. Felighty says the sky's the limit about what they can print a farm image on, including pillows, blankets, mugs, and booklets.
There's a plethora of things you can print, so I'm just trying to bring all those things to how people want them and have their own unique kind of area of the world that they want to print.
Boundary is currently focusing on land in the U.S. and Canada, but could expand to Europe, Australia, and Brazil in the coming year.
Thanks, Mikkel. You could read much more, including information on ordering, in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Ahead, a locally made hot sauce is turning up the heat with chilies grown by local farmers.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you too can protect the price for your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP for short, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your calves. Cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from lack of rainfall with Pasture Rangeland Forage, or PRF insurance. This is a very affordable way to help producers in times of below average rainfall. Call the risk management specialist, Martinson Ag Risk Management.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
Every season has an end. After spending your whole life building something, it can be hard to move on to your next stage in life. But when that time comes, you deserve to have someone you trust guide you through the process. And by trusting us to pass on your legacy, it gives someone else the chance to create their own. Every auction has a story. Let us share yours.
You can get the field results you want in varying conditions with the flexibility of the Summers VRT Renegade, featuring on-the-fly blade angle adjustment from 0 to 19 degrees. And if you want the simplicity of a Super Coulter with the ability to move a little dirt, you'll love the all-new Summers Super Coulter Samurai. Go to summersmfg.com or visit your local dealer to learn more about North America's broadest line of tillage equipment and other products from North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing.
For AgWeek, this is Mikkel Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for watching AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Will the weather remain favorable as farmers continue their harvest? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Calendar is turning November, and as it arrives, we are starting to see a weather pattern change that will bring definitely more signs of winter to the upper Midwest, northern plains, southern Canada. Not necessarily full-on winter for the entire region, probably a little early for that season, but it will definitely be turning colder, and the precipitation which falls, some of it will be rain, some of it will be snow. Positive sign here, though, in some of the dry areas of the northern plains, I do see a few chances of getting some precipitation that I have not been seeing of late. The northern plains region continues to be quite dry. U.S. Drought Monitor showing really much more severe drought in the central plains, but it's quite dry really all over. A lot of this showing up as moderate to severe. That's investigating the deep moisture profile. We all know the fall season passed with not much precipitation, but this time of year there aren't that many needs, so it's not a great concern. But if we were to get a little bit of precipitation in the next few weeks before we get fully onto freeze up, that would be a positive thing if we could get it in the form of rain. If it falls as snow and we get freeze up, then it won't do us much good. We have to see what happens in the springtime. Split flow in the jet stream, that looks temporary. As we go through the week, I think we'll see these two jets merging back into mostly one. There will continue to be some energy down south, but this branch of the jet is weakening. Seeing a low pressure system developing in the western United States, that's prompting some ridging in the east, which will get some warmer weather here. But this is going to bring some pretty cold weather down into the northern Rockies and Montana and some parts of North Dakota. There will be some sub-freezing days as we get on into the latter part of the week, or some near freezing days. And this transition, as the jets come together, two instead of one, we may start seeing a better chance for a precipitation maker to move out and bring some rain and snow into this northern plains area. It'll continue to be warmer than average down over the eastern part of the corn bean belt, while the west continues to look a little bit more wintry. As we get into that first full week of November, it won't stay quite so cold. We'll get some temperature moderation into the northern plains. And of course, a lot of this will depend on whether or not any significant snowfalls, which I am not quite ready to promise yet. But I do think that at least this week there will be one area of probably significant rain and snow moving out of the western and central parts of the Dakotas into Canada. And this may shift a little bit. This will be flanked on the eastern side by some rain, and the northern Rockies are likely to see some significant precipitation, a lot of that coming in the form of snow. And the second week, I think there's going to be another opportunity with those merging jet streams coming together. Not promising drop-busting precipitation, but for the first time in a while, northern plains region is looking like there will actually be some moisture from the sky.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute, up to 3,400 feet away.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
Go beyond the headlines with an AgWeek membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to AgWeek and AgweekTV.
Chances are chilies and jalapenos aren't the first thing that come to mind when thinking about what crops are grown in the region. But one couple is changing all of that. I visited Off the Deck Hot Sauce in Fargo, who's bringing the heat to the Midwest.
Our business started on our deck. It's grown since then, so now we're off the deck, which is why our brand is Off the Deck.
Rachel Utek and her husband Jeremiah had been growing a variety of chilies right off their deck when they decided to take a shot at fermenting their own chilies into hot sauce.
So my husband was reading about fermentation. He's a nerd. And he kept talking about it, found some chilies, and we were growing some chilies on our deck. Wanted to try making hot sauce, and so he set up a batch, and we tried it a month later. It was amazing, and it was so good that I knew we had to share it with the world.
In 2016, they began selling Off the Deck hot sauce. But to keep up with demand, they started working with local farmers who grew chilies right in the Red River Valley.
We started to learn about agriculture up here and how chili peppers grow, and it turned out that we grow some delicious chilies up here.
Off the Deck hot sauce is produced, processed, and packaged in the Red River Valley. It was important that they use produce grown in the area and help support local growers.
Would have been about 4 years ago we started approaching growers, and one of them decided, yeah, I'd like to try growing jalapenos for you, and that turned out super good, so we slowly brought on more and more farmers.
This harvest season, Off the Deck received 500 to 700 pounds of produce each week. They said this was their most plentiful harvest to date. Their hot sauce has fared well at national competitions and surprises fellow hot sauce makers by the heat in their product.
There's the surprise there, and there's also the surprise that it has some heat. Because there's kind of this assumption that, mayo is spicy, ketchup spicy here, that Midwest can't do heat at all.
Off the Deck has a dozen hot sauce varieties and is sold in local retail shops and online. Still ahead, one North Dakota county has a lot of 4-H'ers going for national honors.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
You can get the field results you want in varying conditions with the flexibility of the Summers VRT Renegade, featuring on-the-fly blade angle adjustment from 0 to 19 degrees. And if you want the simplicity of a Super Coulter with the ability to move a little dirt, you'll love the all-new Summers Super Coulter Samurai. Go to summersmfg.com or visit your local dealer to learn more about North America's broadest line of tillage equipment and other products from North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing.
Grain Handling Direct presents how to purchase grain storage solutions in your bathrobe. First, go to grainhandlingdirect.com. Browse our products, check prices, and add your selection to a cart. You can place your order online or call our customer service reps with any questions. We'll route your order to the manufacturer and ship it directly to your front door. GrainHandlingDirect.com. Direct and simple to save you money.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
Being a delegate to the 4-H National Congress or its national conference is a rare honor. But this year, the Walsh County, North Dakota 4-H has 4 delegates going to those events.
3 North Dakota students will be attending the National 4-H Congress in Atlanta, Georgia in November as national ambassadors. Andrew Myrdal's been in 4-H for 9 years. Myrdal has been involved in many 4-H activities, but he says he loves the community service aspect of being an ambassador.
Just go around to different county shows and county fairs and stuff, help out at the state fair. We also, as ambassadors, have retreats where we go and do community service. And at those events, we also do leadership building activities.
The selection committee for the national events looks at the applicants' engagement in 4-H and their communities at the local, state, and national levels. Amelia Lillehaugen says 4-H has helped her develop social skills.
Just a lot of talking to people, and before I had a lot of social anxiety, and it's helped a lot with that.
Hannah Myrdal is a delegate to the National 4-H Conference in Washington, D.C. in April.
Communication in 4-H is very important. You do it at almost every project you do. You interview with judges, you talk in front of large groups of people.
For me personally, it's a passion of mine.
Walsh County Extension Agent Brad Brummond has helped coach 4-H kids for more than 30 years. The county has a strong history of 4-H ambassadors. Brummond says it's thanks to the strong 4-H program in the county. In fact, he doesn't know of another club in the state that has sent 4 members to national events.
It's because of the quality of our young youth, it's the quality of our parents, and the quality of our 4-H leaders, and I like to think the Extension Office had a little bit to do with that.
It's just a great organization to be a part of.
4 other North Dakota 4-H members were also chosen to attend the National Congress and National Conference as delegates. Stories you'll only see on AgweekTV.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Minnesota corn growers are looking to fund research projects. And sugar beet harvest officially wraps up in the region. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a great week.